Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and germs, all you gotta do is practice. Practice makes perfect, and perfect means it's Wednesday night, folks, and you've come to the correct version of the Twitch tonight. Let me tell you, there's a lot of different Twitches out there. Some of them twitch a little bit to the left, some of them twitch a little to the right. We're more of a left twitching kind of podcast, if you know what I mean. If you're following the cut of my jib, ow! I don't know what that meant, but that's fine. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you have tuned into the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday night extravaganza. You used to know it as the Sunday night extravaganza, but that time slot is now the More Than Dice podcast, of course. And, god damn it, this automatic go find your face thing can go fuck off is what it can do. It's like, there goes the top of my head again. Anyway, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. He's the mighty right, Jesus Christ, fuck that up. It's the mighty right hand of the podcast, the wind beneath my wings. You know him, you love him. He's Mr. John Spencer.
Heyo!
Hey-o. Well, you know, folks, I'm tired. Goddamn tired. It was hard to press the play button today on this podcast.
It was hard to do a lot of things today, including get out of bed, get showered, go to work. But it did them all.
Oh, yeah, you know, you did it. And, you know, I'll tell you, it's, everybody, we've got struggles these days. You know, you'll notice today that the name of the show is COVID-2 Electric Boogaloo. That does not mean that I have COVID again. But most of the world does, because holy shit balls, looks like we done fucked up, Ron, because here it comes again. I believe the United States had its record high for daily new cases today, which is saying a thing.
Yeah, that's not saying a good thing. You make me want to check to
verify
see.
that, would you?
Well, I want to see what my state did because, I mean,
Yeah.
it's terrible what happens overall, but I'm mostly important, for this just to see what I got to deal with here.
Yeah, you know, I tell you what, though, I'm going to stop bitching and complaining about my days because Kathy did have a very first of all, welcome Kathy Wapple to the chat room. Glad you're here, Talcazar. Super glad you're here. But Kathy, the feelings and the hugs of the podcast go out to you. And if there's anything we can do or you need anything, just let us know. Just drop us a PM. I'm not that far away. If there's something you and your husband need in these difficult times, just let me know, okay? Anyway, so let's do a beverage update, and then let's have one for Kathy. Today I decided, since it was a particularly difficult day, that a difficult day demands old school. Old school, you say? So
Old school. Sure.
So what could that mean? That could mean that we're going to start the day off with a little bit of the Kraken rum.
Oh, snap.
Yep. Kraken rum, totally not gasoline. Promise. It is it's a thing that you can drink. It's a rum. It's a spiced rum. The guy, Greg from How to Drink would shake an accusatory finger at me for using a spiced rum, and that's fine. He can shake a finger at me. That's fine. By the way, John, I did invite Donald Trump to join us tonight. I sent him a link.
Oh,
And so if you do see anyone whose Twitch name is Tiny Pecker in the chat room, that could be him, and we should probably start playing Hail to the Chief. So, Don, if you join us, let us know.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for King Cheeto as well.
King Cheeto, that's right. Um, not my husband would be if Melania showed up. So I'm having a Kraken and I'm drinking it in a Painting with Men off John shot glass. How about you, buddy?
Well, I'm trying something totally different. As I ran out of work, I was really thirsty, so I got a Crush Peach,
Oh,
which are very peachy.
very peachy, you say.
Yes. So I only drank a little bit of it on the way home, so I saved the rest of it and I put some vodka in it, and we'll see how that goes.
I betcha that's going to be tastier than you wish it was.
I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty good because it's gonna take it from holy fuck to that's good.
Yeah, there you go. All right, folks. So on behalf of the Painting with Men off John Wednesday extravaganza, to one of our favoriteest people in the whole wide world, is Kathy Wapple. Hey, Ron.
Ron.
You know, it's not as horrible as I remember. I don't know. So, Rich, this used to have a special alcohol in it from Western New York's own Tickle, the moonshiner, who will remain nameless because we're not going to get anybody in trouble.
That's right.
But it's gone now, and I drank it. But now I'm having Kraken, because, yeah. Oh, and I've got a Raspis as well. Raspis.
Well, I also have an Arizona fruit punch.
There you go. Well, there you go. I mean, so I had a thought, John. You know, we talk about painting on this show, and we talk about liquor an awful lot.
Indeed.
And I've talked about James. What the hell? I keep on James Hoffman, the coffee guy, on the YouTubes. Who, if I haven't mentioned it recently, you should check out James Hoffman on YouTube. If you give a fuck about coffee, this guy is amazing. You will learn so much about coffee, and he's genuinely entertaining. He's dry. His sense of humor is very droll. He's former world barista champion.
Oh,
so he's got some cred. And he does some crazy ass shit. And one thing that he inspired me to think about was extracting coffee with Everclear. Taking 190 proof Everclear, which I happen to have a bottle of, and running it through a Chemex and extracting coffee with it to see what it would make. I know, right? I know,
I
right?
cannot turn my head more sideways.
I know. It's like a dog whistle. But I think it would work. I would need to do some experimentation. Alcohol should. I mean, anything that is going to extract in water is going to extract in alcohol because they're both polar compounds, and it should be fine. Don't you just feed the civet Everclear with its coffee? Nobody wants a drunk civet pooping coffee beans in your house. Nobody wants that.
Because it won't be coffee beans after a while. It'll just, you know what? I'm not going to go that in that. It will be something different. It will change the state of the matter from solid to liquid.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, nobody wants a civet with the Hershey squirts either. Oh my God, that would be the worst ever. Holy shit!
Strive for happy poops.
Holy shit! So I think I'm gonna try it. I've got that bottle of Everclear. Although now that the COVID is ramping up to DEFCON 5, I should probably just hang on to it for a little bit longer.
You don't want. I mean, so I think I can tell some of the hand sanitizers that are made from places that do alcohol, and they are rough.
Strong.
Like on the nose from here. I'm like hands down in front of me, like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Yep. It turns out that they don't have access to quite the fragrance library that most of your commercial hand sanitizers. Then there's that shit they made in Mexico that they shipped up that had all kinds of methanol in it. And I guess people were getting really sick from it because it was going transdermal. And they're getting methanol in their bloodstream and shit. And it's like, okay, so
remember, hand sanitizers are just an extra step. Just wash your fucking hands.
Just got to wash them hands, man. Wash them hands because like they said on the cruise line, washy washy,
Yeah.
washy washy. Anyway,
John,
so
that's really good. I'm gonna get fucked up real quick.
oh yeah, okay. Well, maybe we should cut to the chase a little bit. Although I'm having a good time just vamping right
No,
now.
by all means, it's all good. I didn't
Yeah.
put that much vodka. There's only about 5 ounces of vodka in here with about 15 ounces of peach.
Well,
I sure.
remember back in the day when we kind of caught ourselves that we were spending too much time rambling in the first part of the show and we needed to get to things. Of course, that was because we were doing nothing but hucksterizing the first
Yeah,
20 minutes to a half an hour of the show.
yeah. We had. Hey, it was a period of time.
Amen. I remember that too. I was a part of all of that, huh? All right, get back to the show. Good to see you. Anyway, so there you go. I mean, it's like I can promote the Patreon because that doesn't exist.
Fair.
We're not sponsored by anybody, so I can't do any sponsor ads. I could talk. I could talk at length about what I'm doing at work. No, I can't.
Yeah, I also should not do such things.
Yeah. So I guess we just kind of shoot shit. I mean, I don't want to go super political right now, but I think it's worth talking to the brushheads about being safe around the COVID because it is most certainly ramping up. This is I'm 52 years old. Okay, I am here to tell you are not a coward if you wear a mask. Okay.
No.
I can't believe
it is
anybody.
not against God's will. It's not interfering with God's breathing system as the Floridians think. Because fuck those people, they crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that the Great Orange one is a resident now, a citizen of Florida. It just fits too well. It's just too perfect.
He's the epitome of Florida.
He really is. He's as YOLO as it gets. Oh, I think John hung up on got froze up on us here. All right, so or it's me, and I don't think it's me just yet, because I'm still broadcasting over there. I can see it, so I'm sure John will be back here shortly. So tonight on the show, folks, while we wait for John to reconnect, we're going to be doing some more work on the hooch hauler. And yeah, I can see. I've actually got the stream. Telkazar, I've got the stream up over here on the other computer. So there you go. So tonight on the show, what we're going to do is we're going to work on. Ooh, I didn't mean to belch like that right into the microphone. Hey, you're back. I totally.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry,
I totally belched right into the microphone. That was the worst. I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I do have a new internet setup where I actually have a cord running from my computer to a Wi-Fi extender, but I do get little hiccups still, so.
That's okay. You weren't gone that long. I was just going to say tonight on the show I'm going to work on the brass rails. This might be better been called the Brass Monkey episode. Brass Monkey.
Funky monkey.
Yep. Man, there's a group.
I have to sort of pause because I need a hair dryer because the base for my EST terrain piece is a little warped because it's kind of softer plastic, but I should probably have a hair dryer anyway. It's not for my hair, but for modeling purposes, of course.
Oh, of course, absolutely. That's a base from what, John?
It's the Star Wars Legion down ATS terrain piece.
Oh, okay, down to ATS. Very cool.
Even comes with some scenarios specifically for it, which is super cool.
Cool.
So.
All right, I'm going to drag this. I'm going to drag the model over here. I'm going to get the blue glove of love on.
Oh snap! You know it's serious business then.
All right, I appreciate people not being too deeply offended by my belching.
I'm kind of upset I missed it. I have to go back and check it out because I am a connoisseur of belches. Because
I don't think it was all that much.
I have heard. I mean. I've heard what we have classified as a 10 belch, and it hurt. It wasn't me. Like it was a nice young lady named Dude who belched, and it hurt my ears.
Dude looked like a lady.
She was a lady. She was but it was painful. And I was like 3 people away from her. I'm like, holy crap, that burst my eardrum, I think. And then there was no more competitions because it had been won. If you cannot reach such heights, do not try.
There you go. All right. Well, so metallics are a pain in the ass.
They are. I love them and I hate them at the same time. In some manners, they are the easiest to get an okay effect with, but I think the hardest to get an amazing effect with.
Yeah, and they just don't cover terribly well, and you got to put them on kind of thick.
Yeah, you can't. You got to be careful putting them on the wet palette, which makes it always weird.
Yep. And I don't use a wet palette with my metallics. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
No, I use my wet palette actually came with a little extra, since it's magnetized on the side, an extra little dish that you can just dunk, so you can use the washes if you want to take them out of the bottle before if you don't want to paint the washes directly out of the bottle or the metallics, which is cool.
I think what I have to resign myself to with the metallics here is that it's going to be multiple coats.
Yeah, multiple thin coats. They're not contrast paints. You can't do one thick coat.
No. And we were talking about that today before the show started. We don't do much of a pre-ramble anymore, to be honest with you guys. We've got. I don't screw with the setup like I used to.
Baby Cat does.
Baby Cat does, and so it kind of. I mean, I'm jinxing it now for sure, but it works pretty good each time I come to start up an episode. So the idea here with this brass is going to be that I'm going to come back with, and I'm going to do the normal gold metals treatment that I do to my gold metals, which is I'm going to come back with Reichland Flesh Shade to make it pull red, but it's going to be, since it's a very significantly different base color than than my other kind of bronzish colors,
Mm-hmm.
it is going to still look like brass. And then what I'll do is, after that, I'll come back with this base color, and I'll shine it up like it's been leaned on, and touched, and all that kind of stuff. And I think it'll turn out pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are better ways of doing it, but
I mean, the only difference between what you do and what I do is that I use Agrax Earthshade on it because I don't get it to pull red. But I mean,
that's a personal
that's
preference.
just
That's a personal preference.
exactly. Oh,
And,
excuse me.
and I have a vision for my gold colored metals, and you have a vision for yours, and yours are great for how you like it.
Yep, mine is. Hold on. So I can get him out of here without breaking anything. Oh, yeah. I got this guy I still haven't finished, but he's got nice sort of bronze gold trim on him that I love. And I didn't think I'd like the brown and blue, but I think it works together pretty well.
That is an attractive model, buddy.
Man, I tell you, all I want from 40K is big stompy robots.
That's all we wanted from War Machine until the game got all screwed up.
It got a little much. It lost its. Maybe if you want to say it lost its way, it forgot the core. It became something different.
Yeah.
I don't want to say be negative about it. Be more positive. It became it changed into a full on, tactical. I don't even say skirmish game anymore because it's beyond that.
No,
it's a tactical small force game.
And I couldn't keep up with it anymore. And I'd say that's as much on me as anything, because that's a personal choice.
Well, I mean, so we all like to believe that we're gonna find the thing and do the thing forever. Because we love it, but we change as time goes on. If you don't change as time goes on, something's wrong, and the game changes. They have to keep it fresh, to fix problems. Maybe not everyone thinks it's a problem.
Sell some models too, I hear.
Yeah, sell some models, which, I mean, I'm not going to talk on that because that way is fraught with danger. And, I mean, we have to move on, There was a time when I'm like, I would never play anything but, 40K in fantasy. And, then War Machine, and I'm like, I'm not going to play 40K in fantasy because War Machine.
Yep.
And now I think I just want to have little forces of a lot of games.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I just want to have fun. I don't really give a shit anymore. I mean, I don't know if that sounds terrible, but I don't want to get serious about anything. I had a talk with my roomie Banyan, and he's like, I can't play MechWarrior Online with you as much because I get really serious about quasi-competitive games like that. I end a game session, I'm a little sweaty from concentrating and all that, and I'm like, man, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't care how well I did. If my team won, I feel good. If my team didn't win, I'm like, man, I need to do more. Yep. But I never get quite to that competitive because, I'll be honest, I haven't played that game that long. I still feel like I fucking suck. I don't necessarily, but I feel that way. Yeah, my last 6 games were 1-5.
Yep.
but it happens.
Being able to enjoy what you're doing is what it's about. I mean, and if that's Banyan wants to, if his enjoyment is based on the competitive nature of it, then that's his kind of enjoyment.
He doesn't want to get there, but he just does. He's really good at taking it not too seriously. He's found his center, I think, but it still gets those juices flowing. I mean, honestly, a good game of War Machine of Hordes will have us all sort of hotter and sweating because we're thinking, we're concentrated, because it brings out those juices.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I want those juices right now. It's a fine line between getting the juices flowing and going overboard.
Just before the COVID hit, I think I had found my happy place with the game again. I could go play it and not be concerned about the outcome. The outcome was fun, and that was a good place for me to be. That's ideally if I'm going to play the game long term. I think that's where I have to be.
Yeah,
And then the COVID hit, and of course I haven't played it since. Now, War Tables got me intrigued. Not intrigued enough to actually do anything about it, but it's intriguing. It's a thing
uh,
that goes, I could see myself maybe doing that sometime.
I
I've
am grognard enough that things like that, while they intrigue me, sometimes I get a little bit of that. Oh, it's a new thing. I got to learn the new thing. Can I learn the new thing? I don't know if I have the brain power to learn the new thing right now.
Oh, for me, it's all about. Or I could just take 13, 14 seconds, fire up crossout, and just have fun.
That's sort of where I'm at too. I know we all got to find our own escapisms. Banyan's playing WoW now. He's enjoying it with his crew, which is cool. I want people to enjoy what they enjoy. I mean, I enjoy playing. I enjoy stuff like MechWarrior Online more with my buds, but if they're playing other games, hey, it's all good. I still enjoy it without them for the most part.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, I would stop and do something else for a bit.
See, I can't play crossout without Rich.
It's hard once you start playing with people, because at the end of the day, you got someone to chat with, and somebody is going to listen.
Yep.
Like, we all need to do X thing, and then people are going to listen. So I'll go through this because this is good online gaming stuff, which is sort of outside a normal thing, but we've been doing enough of it.
Yeah, our normal
There's
thing these last few episodes have been more video gaming than anything else.
Yeah, well, we can evolve.
Who cares?
We have a problem with teamwork sometimes in MechWarrior Online because you have individual stats, as all games do, and some people just don't necessarily think about the teamwork. I am the opposite of that. I always think about the teamwork, often to my personal detriment, which is fine. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so much more enjoyable for everyone when the team listens. Our last game, the one we won, and the one before, we had some good communication. We had some good chat going on back and forth, just enough to keep us engaged. The other team was really good. I never take anything away from them. They played really well and ended up getting the win, well deserved. And in this game, we stomped the team in this game, but we had great teamwork. We had a guy who took charge. We're all like, hey, let's stop here, wait for everyone. We all did the thing. We wait, and we see some light guy mech skirmish run. He's like, hey, some guys take out those light mechs. And I'm like, okay, Roger. And the other guy's, Roger. We go start hunting light mechs together. And it worked like it was supposed to. No one else came right into it. It wasn't like everyone go shit stomped one light mech and let the handful of guys who were trying to do the main objective get crushed. Two of us went. We took on one, took on another, and then just skirmished around the back, keeping them thinking. And then, everything worked well. And it's so much more fun. I didn't even necessarily have great stats, but I lived to the end of the game, did the objectives that were set before me, and my team won. And I feel so much better about that than if I tried to carry the team and couldn't. Like, oh man, I got like 5 kills and like did everything I could and all the damage, we didn't win. I feel more better about the team win than personal glory in that. But some of it's based on the person.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's a very similar thing with Rich. I mean, Rich is willing to put on the leader mantle, and I wear the leader mantle all day. I'm single father of 2 guys. I'm the subject matter expert for roasting for Starbucks, which means I'm involved in every project currently going on. And a lot of times my role on those teams is to keep the ship pointed at the horizon.
Yep.
And that is a hell of a burden some days.
It's a hell of a burden. It's also rewarding as hell,
Yep.
but it also means when you get home or when you check out of work, you don't want to do that again.
Don't really want to be doing that right all the time.
That's the one minor problem I have with the role playing game I'm playing, Traveler, is I'm kind of the leader and I'm a manager at work. I don't necessarily want to check out and have to be the leader.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's been sort of my lot in life for a long time as role playing games. Is when everyone's sort of putzing around, the first guy to come up with a good plan is the de facto leader, and then good luck.
Yeah, and we've got a group that plays Artemis every two weeks online, and the it's not fair for Rich to be stuck with having to be the captain all the time. So
Well, once in a while is fine. You know how it is. Once in a while you get that, but
yeah,
I've gone so far, John, as to play. I've played a campaign of Shadowrun, where I went out of my way to make the least leader character I could. I was like a young physical adept of Wolf Totem, so I was very headstrong and brawly, and absolutely the last person you would ever choose to make a plan. You're like, that guy's got my back, and he will whoop ass for me, but I do not want to make him making the plans.
yeah.
But you know who ended up making the plans?
You
I made bad plans on purpose.
sure you made plans commensurate with your character.
Absolutely, and it was super fun to see the look on like Troy's face when he finally figures out the flaw in the plan as we're implementing it, going like, "What do we do when this happens?" Like, we fight our way out. He's like, "That's not a good plan." I'm like, "You thought it was a great plan when we settled on it."
Yep.
It's like, "What happens when we die?" Then we die. And realize I embrace the wolf mantra. The wolf wins every fight, but it's last. And in that one, it dies.
There you go.
And that's super fun, sometimes to play that. And to have the PCs realize, oh, we should start making plans because that guy's going to make the plans that are appropriate with their character.
Yep. That's all. The constant talk of so many role playing games is how do you role play below your IQ?
That's the hardest thing to do. I like to go with alternate. So I had a friend who had a learning disability, and he would read the same sentence as me, and he would read it a different way. Like the sentence would clearly have the way it's supposed to be interpreted.
Yep.
We'd have general consensus, and he'd read it and get a different interpretation. So I took that and focused that to try and, play a dumb character. Because I played Bob, the Bodacious Ogre Barbarian, and they're like, go find so-and-so. I'm like, okay, where is he? We don't know. That's why need you to find him. Well, if I don't know where he is, how can I find him?
Yep.
I think you're an idiot. And like, yes, I'm an idiot.
Yep.
You're like, is he really stupid? He's just not grasping it. And that's a really fun thing to do once in a while. And honestly, for those of us who are leaders, it's a great thing because you can't just go, well, John's got good tactics and strategy. He's going to get us out of this. Like, no, John's going to make... I played the last long-standing game I played was the Malifaux role-playing game, Through the Breach. And I was literally like a thug, like, ex-enforcer. And I was purposefully trying to be as quiet as possible. We had a huge group. We had like 8 people in the group. So I would try and be the quiet one, which I've done before. And it makes it so much more interesting, When I only came in when shit got real and something needed to be punched to death. And I would do that.
Yep.
And it's super fun. I had done that in the past in Legend of the Five Rings role-playing game, where, I would play the quiet one and try and encourage the other players to be more outgoing, to fend for themselves, so to speak. I cut the cord. Go. Mm-hmm. Learn, investigate. You can't always be hanging out with Jiro, who was my character before that, he was the alpha male. He came in and he's like, okay, we need to do this thing. We're doing the thing this way. You do that thing. We do this thing. We're gonna do it. And I go back to be the quiet guy in the back, the one who just pays attentions. And I mean, it's fun sometimes, but the core point is that we don't always want to be in charge.
Yep.
It's hard. Even Morton Joe, who's on Battle and Member Online with me. Sometimes he's like, look, I don't want to be choosing the maps and the game things. And it seems like the littlest little thing, to vote on the map and to vote on the game type He's like, can you be leader and do that? I'm like, yeah, sure, man, I can do that. Because you can't do it all the time. Sometimes you gotta step back, let someone else take lead.
And it makes by that experience, every time they do it, they grow a little bit more. It may not be their comfort spot, but then in the future, they're going to be more willing to go, well, hey, that wasn't so bad. That's something I can do.
Yep, and the more you get experience with it, the better you are.
You teach them a little something new about themselves.
Yep.
Which is good.
Yeah, and then, as a game master, since we're on role-playing for a little bit, as a game master, if you see someone doing that, encourage them. If their plan's not quite perfect, either if they should know better, give them a couple tips, or just have it work out. You're in charge of the villains. Maybe the villains didn't think of that thing. Maybe the guy in charge of the villains shouldn't be as competent as you want because the guy making the plan isn't the equal. Never let your tactical and strategic knowledge overshadow the players doing the thing they want to do. Because sometimes it's just cool to have the plan work out.
Yep, absolutely.
Then the devil becomes when does think then they're all tense. When's the shoe going to drop? The shoe always drops. Who's fucking us? Is Mr. Johnson going to fuck us? What's going to happen? Yep. Talxar says your volume's really low.
Mine is?
You might be speaking away from the microphone. I don't know.
Here, I'll bump up my levels a little bit. See if that's any better.
Yeah, let's
I
not
was
talk.
probably talking away from. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I'm about ready to throw this fucking microphone across the earth.
No. Don't blame the microphone for baby cat.
You're right.
And don't throw baby cat across the room.
No. Never do that to the baby cat.
I mean, baby cat may be.
Is that
better? Waiting for a reply.
Yeah.
Baby cat may be a motherfucker, but is still a very cute motherfucker and doesn't need to be thrown across the room.
She's so funny. She's hilarious. I mean, you've seen her in not funny situations like trying to sleep and things like that. Almost there. Jesus Christ.
All right, John. Take it to 11.
I have the gain literally set as high as I can. I mean, I don't know what to do. It is. You could go a bit louder, too. All right, so... Boost the overall levels. Hang on.
She said the last one was pretty good. It's that last one. You should be good.
All right, so let's try that and see how that works out. We boost all the levels.
Boosting the levels.
We're now at 11, I think.
Excellent. If you're good at 12, that's shaky. Sometimes 12 is good. Sometimes 12 might as well be 1.
You're right. 12 sometimes is just a 1 and a 2.
I mean, like in the case of Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
Oh, that fucking... Oh, we got to do... That's the worst movie of all. That's just terrible.
It's worse because all things are there that could have been cool, and then they didn't be cool.
Well, please stop trying to be a comedy.
Yeah, if you're going to be a comedy, you should try it. You should... I have this hit or miss thing. People at work are always surprised. I don't like modern comedies so much.
No, nor do I.
To quote the guy who does the voice of Pinky and the Brain, is like, they're like, comedy should have a beginning, middle, and an end. And they don't. There's a point where comedy stopped having an end, and it just kept going. It wasn't a callback. It was... Because a callback's fine.
And it's a sign of professional podcasting, to be honest.
Indeed. It was just... continue. If you look at, say, something like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the jokes have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yep.
They don't take any of them, in my opinion, too far. But you get something... Anchorman is just one giant joke, and thus I don't think it's that funny.
Did you watch the Star Trek Discovery short treks?
Not all of them yet. I need to get on that.
Did you watch the one with H. John Benjamin in it?
No, not yet. I only watched the one you have to watch to understand what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
And then the one after with Aldous Hodges in it.
You must watch the one that has H. John Benjamin in it.
They're all on my list. It's just time.
It is the funniest 15 minutes in Star Trek history.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I've been chatting with some Star Trek things with people online, random people on Twitter. I am bringing the positivity to Twitter. Someone's like, I'm so upset that they're doing this new Discovery, this new, series with in the past. I wanted to go forward, but I thought Picard was a little depressing. I'm like, it's too bad, but you should really give this a try. Discovery Season 2 was fucking amazing, and this is going to be like classic Trek. I think you'd like it. Give it a shot.
Yep.
And they were just pleased as punch that someone on Twitter didn't just shit on their opinion and say they were terrible, just gave them some concrete thoughts. I try and do that.
Yep. I will tell you that this Discovery is pretty good in Season 1. It's pretty good.
I like Discovery Season 1, but Season 2...
Season 2 is amazing. It's a tour de force.
I mean, and we're comparing it to Picard, and Picard's really good, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not the adventure that Discovery is.
No, it's not. It's a much more heavy thing, really, when it comes down to it. Because Discovery is sort of like a self-contained adventure.
Yep.
That's how they can fit it in the timeline, so to speak.
Yep.
But Picard is forging ahead and new things, and that's very cool. And you got to see all the people that you remembered for this. It was just really good.
Agreed.
I hope next season they get more, or the season after that they get more guest stars.
Yep.
It's just good to see them in there. It's pleasing. It doesn't. It's nostalgia without pandering, which is a real hard thing to do. But
sure is. Fan service is a fine fucking line.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Well, that's coming along well. You got the brass coming.
Yeah, this is coming along quite nicely. This is really, really helping the model. And, it's just one of these things now. I'm just going to have to kind of go over it a few more times and a few, kind of, that needs a little touch-up. This needs a little touch-up. It's coming along, though. It's going to look good.
Yeah.
I think. And then we're going to get after honestly, at this point, we're closing in on not a whole lot left on this model to paint except for the dudes.
Which is like painting like 6 single models.
Yeah, it's not going to be super relaxing, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
It's really good. I'm not going to lie.
Careful, kid.
No, I'll be okay. Like I said, I didn't put that much in there. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be good. But yeah, it's cool. I've actually almost got all my Marvel Crisis Protocol models painted. Star-Lord just needs a little bit of paint on him, and he'll be done. And then I can go on and buy more, and then I'll be 100% painted on them and can move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have this is the last. Well, honestly, it's the second to last. I've got a what's the Colossal from Kador, the first one.
Conquest?
Conquest. Yeah, I got a Conquest that I wanted to do in kind of a World War II, the shark nose planes.
Okay.
That I wanted to do for wrestling.
That's really cool, yeah. That is the main reason I haven't gotten rid of my Hyperion or anything, because, A, the market's bad, B, Colossal Wrestling seems like a thing we would play.
It's fun. Yeah, it's super fun. And I've even got that table that Aaron Gordon Braden made for me. That's
the Dream Maker.
That's perfect. Yep, the Dream Maker.
I need to talk to him about getting another dice tray. I want more dice trays. I like having. I love the dice tray he got. For me, it's super cool. I use it as much as I can. When I'm rolling dice, which doesn't happen so often. You know, when Not Prussia, Dave and I are mostly playing Malifaux on Friday nights, I ain't rolling any dice for that.
Nope, I hear you.
Which is fine. It's the way the game plays. And we're trying to take it easy, not too much. We're not doing any gaming right now.
Yeah.
He's not in the same. We don't play the same video game, so to speak. The other one we played in common, he's already won, which was Borderlands 3, which was good and enjoyable, but.
Do you feel
I feel like my life doesn't have the time to play it the way it should be played, which is in like these nice long 2 or 3 hour chunks.
Yep, I hear you.
Instead, I play like a game of MechWarrior Online, maybe 2, and I take at most a half an hour, and then I go on and do something else, and I come back.
Yeah, I just have no time to play. I've got Crossout. I have literally all the video games I need right now. I have all the games I have time for.
Yeah, exactly. It's that, and then once in a great while, usually when I am taking care of other things, I play a little bit of Star Realms on the tablet.
Yep. Cool. What time is it?
Oh, it's only 8:36, dog, or
Wow,
7:36
we're
your time.
super early.
Yeah, I get a bunch of things I want to play. Board games and all. Maybe I can get Banyan to play with me because the whole Warhammer Underworld series is super cool. And good, pretty self-contained box sets that you can play, and then just small box added to them gives you some stuff potentially for your Age of Sigmar army if you play it, and another warband to play. And I'm really interested to play more of that.
Cool.
Or just have cool models. I got the Rippa Snarl Flangs for Christmas because I like Wolf Riders. They're all assembled. They're super cool, very characterful. Which I like about small unit sets is like if it's 3 Goblins Wolf Riders, they can all be super characterful.
Yeah, you can spend the time on it.
You don't get that rank and file thing, and they all go together really well.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start washing down some of these, some of this wood with the contrast paint.
Absolutely.
Give me something different to do.
Yeah. And then aside from that, my next big painting project will come when the BattleTech Clan Invasion Kickstarter hits, and I get all the models.
There you go.
That was one of those things. It hit right at the time when Necromiles got me more interested in BattleTech again, and then I was like, let me put a little something in that. I'll like it because I do like BattleTech. Been rereading books. I'm a little behind because I've been up late doing other stuff and not having reading time. I need to get back to it.
I have no excuse for not reading.
I mean, it's an excuse, but mine's an excuse, but it's a bad excuse. I could just stop and go do that.
Yep.
How about not just watch one more video, John? How about go read book?
Yeah, and I'm in the same place.
But man, I mean, that's half of my entertainment right now. I actually didn't watch a single thing this past week, aside from stuff on YouTube, but I could talk about some of that.
Yeah, we'll get
There's
to
some
that.
good stuff there because, I mean, it's not just even like the stuff we talk about, like how to drink and all that. I mean, like a lot of other stuff, if you're interested, you can, I mean, YouTube is a boon. It's also a motherfucker, but it's a boon.
Yeah, it's got its issues, but it's in general. I mean, learning about different rockets and things like that. There's with Everyday Astronaut and Scott Manley and all that. When What About It with Felix.
Did you watch there was a video by Smarter Every Day, who's a guy I follow and actually support on Patreon, where he got to go inside a rocket factory.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah. It was super. I love that guy. Destin is great.
Yeah, he
gives me hope for the South.
Yeah, no kidding. He might be the smartest man in the South.
Destin, can they all learn from you? Because you are a beautiful human being. Oh, you guys are terrible in the chat room. Yeah, it's weird how COVID has sort of completely changed our lives.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, it's like, when else would we have been like, I haven't seen a movie in the theater in 6 months practically.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't been to a game store in 3.
Yep, I was getting back to being a very regular Tuesday night either somewhere. It was either playing cards, or it was, playing I was starting to play miniatures again.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, nope. Big bucket of nope. Hard no.
But what I really love is I love what people are doing, like the innovation people have had between the Zoom meetings and let's talk about the teachers with almost no funding. We're told on almost no notice in most cases, you have to come up with a lesson plan to teach your kids remotely.
Yeah.
Now.
The teachers have all my respect. I am so sad for them. They have gotten so little help from their districts, and they're just killing it. Yeah. I'm the first to remark that I think that this was a lost year for my kids and stuff, but it sure wasn't for for lack of teachers trying.
Yeah, the teachers were going crazy. Hi, Gornis. We just chatting in general, no real topic so much. little
Yep.
COVID talk right now. But yeah, teachers have been amazing. I mean, loving to see what musicians are doing. Talkstar said, check out Miracle Sound. Apparently, there's a lot of cool stuff on YouTube. But like even bands have been doing just YouTube jam sessions. You know, was it Goldfinger did a bunch of stuff. What the heck is the name of the band? I'll remember it. Blue Oyster Cult did at least Godzilla. Was the one I caught. They did a live recording of Godzilla for YouTube, which is cool. I know Clutch has been doing a bunch of stuff. A lot of bands. It's just great. They've been getting out there and just getting stuff out there, which is cool. It just shows how people are just going to innovate their way through this.
Gotta do something, pal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of card game guys who don't have like an online thing who are just like, hey, because that might be the best thing about that game you play that's cards. Keyforge.
Yep.
Is that you just play.
Yep.
John, what contrast paint is that?
This is snakebite leather.
There you go, Chris Fowler. Snakebite leather. And then, but yeah, the Keyforge is great because you can just play it straight up online.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, the rest of us are getting our webcams and putting them down. Like, I could play Transformers TCG with people by webcam. But,
yeah, the Crucible Online has been a real godsend for Keyforge, but I will be the first to tell you I have not played a game of Keyforge, even online, in a long, long time. Just been doing other stuff.
Yeah, I know, it's weird because, it's like I haven't, I mean, aside from when Banyan got back from the game store when it reopened with some packs to play a bit of Sealed with Transformers, we haven't played any of that in forever. Just didn't have the hype,
Yep.
It almost reminds me of what we don't have, and it kind of pisses me off.
Yeah. Yep.
They should get by it, but, I should get by a lot of things. Now is not the time to be trying to fundamentally change who I am. So Gornis wants to know he needs a name for a drink that has rum, watermelon juice, and plum wine in it. I'd have to taste that. Watermelon juice and plum wine.
A Jamaican geisha.
I like that. There you go. But yeah, it's just weird. I mean, everything in the world weighs heavy upon me.
Yeah.
It's you don't really realize, I guess.
Oh, I think you froze up again, buddy. No, I mean, yep. I mean, a lot of things weigh on a person at this time. There's a lot going on in the world. We're just kind of doing the best we can to keep it together. Up there, he's back.
Like internet cutting out. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, internet just had a little hiccup.
Yeah.
The thing that just bothered me, I didn't realize that there's so realizing they're not as introverted as they thought, and I feel for those people because they thought they'd be great, but then they're like, I actually need a little bit of human contact.
Yep.
I think the only thing that's really, really kept me sane is the fact that I still had to go to the office every day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's been harder.
I don't know what I would have done without that.
I think
all the video games.
I think it's been a lot harder on my coworkers than it has necessarily been on me because this has been my modus operandi for years. But the thing that's weird is that I didn't expect to really feel anything. I just thought, well, now y'all can just feel what it's like. But because of their shift in work, my job has, I don't know what, maybe it was that they just feel more, because they don't have any restriction to reach out to me at all, that because sitting at their computer and interacting with somebody online is just how it is right now. But boy, oh boy, and it's hard to say if it's the COVID that caused this, or if it's just kind of where these different projects are in their life cycle. But man, oh man, I'm just going nuts.
Might be a little column A and a little column B.
It could be.
There's usually multiple factors.
Why not both?
And yeah, well, I think what and I think your company did this too. A lot of companies did it successfully is sort of do the Friday happy hour thing where you all get together and just chill together.
Yep.
Because you don't have to talk on there. You just got a little. I assume it's just a little. Zoom chat or something where you're all there and just chat if you want to.
Yeah, it's the application we use is Microsoft Teams,
Oh, Teams, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
and Teams is terrific like that. I have
Yeah.
a happy hour with my friend Sarah, who's in the green coffee quality department, on Wednesdays sometimes, if we're both available. Well, usually it's the lead into this show. Have a beer with Sarah, and then we do the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new world, and I think we're going to have to take everything we've learned from this and apply it.
Yep.
I mean, especially those of us miniature gamers and all, because, I mean, there's only so much we can do.
I'm already thinking about school year next, and what worked and what didn't work. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to get these like little standalone Chrome workstations, not laptops, but they make little like thin clients for Chrome,
Yeah.
and because having them work on their regular computers, which are kitted out as basically game machines, does not work,
No.
and having them sitting in the room does not work. So
Nope.
I'm moving their workstations down into the basement area in the main finished side, and I'm gonna set them up with good monitors and Chrome stations, so that they can focus on their work, because the shit of them going up into their room and playing shit on their computers, no.
No, yeah. I know even at my best as a kid, that shit would not have worked.
No. And I'm blessed with great kids and motivated for the most part. And no, that was a mistake. That was a tactical mistake. I should not have allowed that to happen. But now we know. And that was a learning year. We're going to call that one training wheels, and we're going to figure out how not to let that happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the kind of thing that everyone needs to learn. Businesses need to learn, because if a wave 2 hits your area enough, people who already gone back to work are going to have to leave work again.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's going to have to be. Luckily, my state, I did check the stats, is reasonably stable. We're still relatively trending downward, which is good.
Yeah, Wisconsin's on the way back up.
Yeah, I'm hoping we might just be later to wave 2 than other people. I don't want to say anyone's out of the woods yet, because I don't think anyone's out of the woods yet.
I don't even know if this is truthfully a wave. If this is wave 2 or if this is just wave 1. YOLO the comeback.
Well, that's the thing about waves. It is technically wave 2, and just means we might have more waves than we would have otherwise.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Which is too bad. But we'll see. I mean, I have a lot of coworkers coming back to work. Some of them are not. Some of them are really, really scared.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was like, well, last time I was there, you guys weren't wearing masks or anything. I'm like, yeah, there was almost no one in the office. We didn't wear masks around because we're in the office. And I didn't tell her this, but the harsh truth is, if someone really gets COVID there and we don't realize, many people are going to get it. It's just the way it is. We're all working together. We're all touching the same things. And even even if you're thinking about it, you're still going to touch your face and shit every once in a while.
That is so hard to not do.
Yeah, absolutely, because we're used to it. I mean, I've done it like 3 times in the past couple minutes.
Yep.
So we'll have to. I mean, it's just one of those things that's going to happen, and it's unfortunate. And I am going to do everything I can to support all of my teammates who do that. I've actually started wearing my mask now around when because we're supposed to wear it when we're not at our desk. So we'll see. It's just gonna be weird and try and do that stuff. I mean, I see the videos online that make me want to punch people. Going into a Walmart with no mask on. Like, dude, you should give permission to the Walmart employees to toss his bitch ass out like they're a bouncer.
Yep.
But
there's a store chain in Wisconsin. I don't know where else they are, called Menards. It's like Home Depot for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, guess what? They got a guy sitting at the front. No masky, no servicey.
Mm-hmm.
You can turn your happy ass around.
Because it's fine if you're not worried about getting that. That's cool. But by not wearing a mask means you don't care if you give it to someone else, and that's not fine.
No, that means that you're just you're so self-oriented. Ugh, just drives me nuts.
Yeah. Those are the things. So when that starts happening, guys, eject from the social media a little bit. I've sort of calmed down on the Twitter. I spent a good day on Facebook blocking people who were saying stupid shit.
Yep.
Now, irony is posting the message that it was a tough day, blocking people saying racist and ignorant things on Facebook, blocking and muting, and then having several people you blocked and or muted, or mostly muted, give you a like on that post. I'm like, oh, you don't realize it was you.
Nope.
Because I have a friend who found me. He was a friend when I was years ago.
Yep.
When I was a kid living in Bowie, Maryland, and he's a police officer now, so his views are very police officer sometimes. He's not wrong, and he's not stupid about it, but he says he reposts some stuff, and I'm like, you are not getting the fucking point.
Nope.
And yes, I know certain laws, I know how certain laws work, and I know you guys think it's bullshit, but you can't go doing stupid shit in this climate.
Yep.
The example, I don't get too political, but the guy who got shot in the back because he took the cop's taser. Now, before he gets upset, I know that is a police rule that if someone has something that could incapacitate you, you get to respond with lethal force, because incapacitated is just, well, you could. It is acceptable to their rules.
No, what I mean by that is that just because it is something that is within your power to do doesn't mean that is your exit strategy at all costs.
Exactly. And that's to protect them in case someone gets their taser and incapacitates them, because they could just be dead then. And I understand that. Rationally understand that. But if they're running away from you backspace, you don't. That's not the right thing to do.
No, that is exactly the wrong thing to do.
And that is a police officer who I don't think should necessarily be brought up on charges, though he was. I think he should be fired, and because he did the wrong thing. He's like an airline pilot who, yeah, sure, we got a procedure to do X, but you did X in the wrong situation. Sorry, we're not going to have you in here anymore.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Talcazar. Every couple of years, the cops and politicians need to be put back in their place and remember who serves who. And it's all crazy what I see online, and I try to stay away from too much of it online because it'll get you down. Make sure you fill your feed with puppies and cute animals. Hedgehog of the day, suggest it. It's good. Cute animals. The dodo, emergency awesome, emergency cuteness. Any of those things where you get some of those, it'll help diffuse the dread of everyday existence. But I saw something where a politician's like, I cannot believe that a senator got hit in the head and attacked, and now something needs to be done. And everyone's like, oh wait, so when it's us, getting people hurt, it's a thing. But when one of your fucking rich friends gets hurt, now suddenly it's a problem.
Oh no,
I'm surprised when people were tone deaf about it.
We should be hitting the rich on the head as many times as possible.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't want anyone to get hurt. All right, not physically. I don't want that. But also, by the same measure, you guys, you can't be tone deaf about it. I understand this is not. It's tough. It's crazy. Don't be tone deaf. Think of what you're saying. All of us.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see about this. Let's see how it looks when it dries.
Oh, Kentucky says I'm amazed using it and posting pictures of my daughter all over Facebook. Yes, that's what it is. When you get the chance, post some of your positive stuff on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever. We need to know that this stuff's out there and happening. We can't stick our heads in the ground, but we also need to make sure that we're getting some positivity out there.
Agreed. Just trying to this. Just kind of doing a little bit of just dry brushing it on there more than anything else. Just kind of trying to, because it's a barrel, okay?
Yeah.
It's not an evenly colored thing. I just want it to look properly random.
Oh yeah.
So.
You can know when it dries too. You'll get some hitting certain areas, certain things.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We didn't get any questions or nothing, did we?
I didn't see any. Let me double check here real quick. Negatory there, and da-da-da-da-da.
That's good.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I got any questions.
Anybody in the chat room got any questions? We'll make up answers.
Look, that's what I do for a living, John. I make up answers. People ask me questions all the time I ain't got the answers for, but I give them a good scientific wild house guess.
My son the other day asked me a question, and I gave him an answer, and I finished the answer with, I mean, at least that's what I assume it happens. And he goes, and he looked at me in dumbfounded. He's like, "You mean you didn't know the answer to that?" I go, "No, no, no. But you know, anybody with a basic understanding of heat, mass, and momentum transfer can explain anything to you."
Well, John, I have a BS and BS.
Yep. Can't
Oh,
impress him with your intellect. You got to bedazzle him with your bullshit.
yep. Kathy said you can try him with a little blue contrast paint in a few areas to make it look random, and the blue will blend with the brown a bit since has a long drying time.
And that's why we have a real painter in the chat room at all times.
Oh, there would need to be a daycare at the next zoo. Honestly, I tell you, the first convention to get actual legitimate daycare will be huge.
Gen Con does it, doesn't it?
I don't know. I've been to Gen Con. As much as I want to go, I also kind of don't want to go because it's just too much. I don't know if I want that.
I don't think you want it, to be honest. I know I don't think I'll ever be back. It's so expensive. Yeah. It's so expensive. It's too broad for me in most cases, although it's not like I'm going playing War Machine every 5-10 minutes anymore. So
yeah, fair enough. We're not going to miss our War Machine tournament because we're busy talking to people we like.
That's right. Let's get this face cam back up here so everybody can see how beautiful I am.
Clean off my glasses
there
here. There you go. Do I look weirder without glasses?
Do you look weird?
Let me focus my eyes. Does that make it better? Or does that just make it weirder?
I'm growing the beard back.
Yeah, I see.
It's coming along.
Oh, there we go.
2 weeks. I just wish Gen Con would have a slow tour of the dealer room. Yeah. Aw, which one? Both of us? Yeah, probably. John always looks cute.
Well, I don't know about that. Look, they say the mirror, you say you look, much better in the mirror than you do in real life, in which case, I got problems.
All right, kids. It's 8 o'clock. It's close enough. Let's get over here. I'm done painting for tonight.
Yeah. I got a little this to talk about after, John, because I forgot to bring it up beforehand. That's my fault.
We could be, Kathy brings up a good point. Why not both?
Yeah, why not both?
I mean, we might be the most beautiful podcast on Twitch, on this Twitch channel right now. I mean,
on this Twitch channel right now, I think we might just be.
I think we got that one nailed. I think Miranda's trying to ride on our gold coattails, trying to gravy train off our beauty.
I'm sure that's exactly it.
Miranda's so nice on top of everything else. So
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, hey, so it's the media section. Dun 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 dun. Meets media. Boo. Dun dun dun. There you go. That's the media section music for this week.
Very well.
You said you didn't watch a whole lot.
No, not really. It was a weird week.
So I will go ahead and watched a movie on Juneteenth with the kids. We watched Hidden Figures, which is the story of three of the African American women who worked for NASA during the time of the Apollo and Mercury and all the different the original hoaxes about going to the moon. They were in charge of that, and the struggles that they had, being not only a woman but also being an African American woman at that time. It was a powerful movie. It was very well acted, very well written, and Kevin Costner, I think, gives one of his best performances. And what it showed was, how bad could it have been if were it not for a few visionary folks in NASA, and how unfortunate it is that it required there to be a few visionary people at NASA to actually change things. And I'll tell you, it highly recommend it. We definitely wanted to watch something that would help educate my two boys around the struggles that African Americans and people of color have in the United States. And I would highly recommend this as a great movie for anyone with kids who wants them to kind of understand what white privilege really means, and how, we talk a lot of shit about how I've had a bad day, maybe you've had a bad day. It's the struggles that people of color have, just because they their skin has better adapted to the sun than mine has.
Yeah,
It's
nothing more than that.
it's just nuts. And so, highly recommend it. It was like, I think, $4 on Amazon. I rented it. It was fantastic. Really very, very entertaining. Good soundtrack. Really good soundtrack. Had some pretty awesome 1960s African American music in there, as far, the little James Brown. It was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I have one other movie I could talk about before we switch over, if you would like me to go further.
Sure, absolutely. I want to point out that Kathy said she watched Knives Out again. That is twice, Kathy. Holy crap, what are you doing?
That's amazing. I have not watched it even once yet, but I need to change that. I know, I've heard I got to do that.
Free on Amazon Prime.
Yep, there you go. Speaking of things that are this is on HBO Max, which God damn it, John.
We'll talk about
that. It was Rubber Suit Godzilla night on Father's Day evening, and we watched Godzilla versus. So we watched two Rubber Suit Godzilla movies this weekend. We watched Godzilla versus Gigan. After we watched Godzilla versus the cockroach thing. I forget what the fuck its name was. It was there was a monster that was like a cockroach. But
okay.
What was very interesting, and Gigan was in that movie too, which made it really interesting to watch Godzilla vs. Gigan second, because you could see every scene that they lifted from that movie and stapled into the other movie.
Hey, cost saving is cost saving.
Oh my God, it was amazing. We started seeing it. It's like some of the military mobilizing movie parts of it just all of a sudden just lifted straight up, and then some of the buildings were like, wait, that building's going to get crushed by Gigan later on. Sure as shit, here it comes, boom! Yep, we crushed it. Good stuff though. Rubber Suit Godzilla's best Godzilla. Caught a little nap during one of them. I would give them probably. Oh, by the way, Hidden Figures is 0 shots of Kraken.
Yeah,
you watch that shit stone sober because you got shit to learn, Whitey. And then on both of these Godzilla movies, with I would give it probably solid 2.5 shots of Kraken. They're good guy Godzilla movies, so he's got googly eyes, which is always the best. Godzilla vs. Gigan had a little, not enough Godzilla. It needed,
no, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean sometimes Rubber Suit Godzilla movies get a little too much into the people, and fuck, I'm not here to see people. I want to see monsters battling it out.
I do, but if they can do it, if they can intertwine the stories well,
Sure.
sort of like we talked about Godzilla
Sure.
King of the Monsters, does a decent job of it.
Yep, Shin Godzilla does it perfectly. Shin Godzilla is, as far as I'm concerned, the best of the Rubber Suit Godzillas, because that is at least as much a political commentary as it is a monster movie,
which is really important for Godzilla, because that's what it started off as.
Yeah, that's as it should be.
Yeah.
And Shin Godzilla is amazing. So there you go, folks. That's the two major things I watched over the week. What about you, buddy?
Well, actually, since you talked about reused shots, I want to talk about something I watched on YouTube. And I forget the exact name of it, but it's a guy who basically took computer graphics and made replacement scenes for Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, to replace a lot of the reused scenes that were reused from Star Trek The Motion Picture. I just watched one where they have the space dock scene where a lot of it's lifted directly from Star Trek The Motion Picture. And they put it in there because they were doing Star Trek II on a budget. That's just the truth of it. And he did that. And my first question was like, well, that's cool and all, but why? I mean, sure, your graphics look but they don't look as good as the scenes as they were made.
Yeah.
which is saying something considering, we're talking, what, 40 years later almost? We'll say
Yeah.
35. I mean, shit. So it's cool they did that stuff, but it comes to the point of, why are you doing this? I mean, if Paramount wanted to do that, or whoever owns the rights now, they could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't need to be done, It's like, if the director said, hey, I want to come back, I didn't like us having to reuse these scenes, well, absolutely, then it's okay. Then it becomes, Star Trek The Wrath of Khan Special Edition.
Sure.
Those always work out well, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Remember,
So-
Kirk shot first.
That doesn't work in this. They can't. But yeah, so I mean, I thought it was very cool. I like seeing stuff like that. It sort of reminded me of the Star Trek remastered, the original ones. I know they actually did this for the original series. They actually did a update of all the graphics for them, which is very cool. I like to see, but people did it online first. It was some very cool stuff, and it was always done with the Doomsday Machine with the giant,
Yep.
cone. It was
Yep.
so good, and with the Constitution itself there, it made it more interesting because then you could see like what they did with that. Because obviously it was just the Enterprise model they messed up.
Yep. Exactly.
But there's a lot of cool stuff like that out there. I always wonder why
Sure.
why are you doing that? And then the other one I watched, just to get it out, and then we'll hit it, is I actually watched a long sort of YouTube documentary on the making of one of my favorite Disney movies, The Black Hole.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, and it may not hold up well. The ending may be a little much, but did you know, John,
I don't know. Did I know?
that they actually didn't have the ending done till they were finishing the movie? Every draft came in with sort of an ending. It was like, the end?
Yeah.
And they sort of finished it up like no one knew what the end. None of the actors knew what the ending was, and they actually had to call them back to do that whole big scene. And they were trying to do cost savings, which honestly, that seems very. The whole ending seems very 2001-ish, but scaled back a lot.
I was going to say it is a more approachable ending than 2001's ending.
Yeah, you can easily make. You can go. I see what's going on here. Okay, cool. And apparently originally they darkened up. But originally, when they're coming out of the black hole in the probe, it's supposed to be them heading towards Earth. That's sort of be where the black hole let them out. But they didn't make it that official or anything, so you can't tell if it is or not.
Yep.
But ending notwithstanding, which I think, honestly, the ending is the weakest part of the movie. The rest is just fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And you forget how many heavyweights are in that movie. I mean, Maximilian Schell, Anthony Perkins, Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah.
Even, Robert Forster was a relatively big deal at that point.
Sure.
He never really got to do I think he deserved. Yvette Minogue was actually huge also. Poor Joseph Bottoms apparently was the low man on the pole, but even he apparently had some stuff. Yeah. It's a good, tight cast. It's got very good models, great matte paintings.
Yeah, it is. When Disney decided they were going to do their first not G-rated movie, they decided to do it right.
And the thing is, the whole thing was actually, if I recall correctly, the whole plot was started prior to Star Wars. Now, to be fair, originally it was a disaster movie.
Okay.
And the most common working title was Space Station 1, where it's like a black hole, space station, let's get escape. Because disaster movies were huge.
Yeah.
They were huge. And then it sort of development held, and then eventually became sort of, they call it a Star Wars ripoff, but aside from them making sure the robots are kind of cute so they get that R2-D2 vibe, and no offense to R2-D2, who I fucking love, Vincent is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Vincent, and so is Bob.
Bob's cool, and then Maximilian is a great villain robot, and I don't know how apparently Ebert actually compared him to Darth Vader, which is not a comparison. And actually, they made him red so people wouldn't compare him to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And then they go and do it anyways. It's just a great movie. Not everyone loves, but I mean, with Disney Plus out there, it's on Disney Plus. Give it a shot.
Oh, hell yeah.
Love it. Check out some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, like on YouTube and all, It's the series is called Good Bad Flicks.
Mm-hmm.
and they have different series, sub-series, but he has a long one on the black hole that I really enjoyed, and I am a huge black hole fan.
Yep.
I have the collector's tin with all the extra stuff to it because I am that kind of nerd.
Yeah, no, that's if you're gonna nerd out over a movie, that's a damn good one to do.
Yeah, I mean, Disney. I don't know. It's just too bad Disney's PG stuff didn't fare as well as it should. I mean, the black hole, Tron never did. Tron, the Tron sequel. My brain stopped. The Tron sequel.
Yeah, the
Legacy.
modern
Tron
one, yeah,
Legacy.
Legacy. I liked
Which Tron Legacy was awesome too.
Legacy
I mean,
was
that
great, and it was a fantastic soundtrack by
Daft
Daft
Punk.
Punk. Yeah.
God, that soundtrack is off the chain.
Yep. Hey, December Win. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat room before. Welcome.
Yep, and
Thank you for
making
coming.
up for my memory.
Please, comment as much as you can because we do like to interact with our audience, the Brushheads. Welcome to Brushhead Nation. And hey, Ron.
Oh, Ron.
Ron.
Oh, all right, John. So I've rambled on about stuff as much as.
Yeah, I'm pretty much at the end of my rope here too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I will get back to Clone Wars Season 3.
Yep.
So for next week, so I'll have some episodes to talk about. Hopefully, more than a few. It's supposed to be getting good, so I'm looking forward to it. Actually.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The episode that with the Zillow Beast we watched the other day, and that was hard for Belinda Librarian to watch.
Yeah,
and I had forgotten how that episode ended. That it was basically King Kong.
Yeah.
And I had told her at one point that he was going to be okay because she was getting nervous, and then I was wrong. So
yeah, it was not okay, unfortunately.
No, he was super not okay.
So I'm torn because an episode like that, I like the content they were trying to bring. It's just didn't quite hit the marks,
Yeah.
Just some of them just missed the marks.
Zillow Beast looked like he was a tapeworm.
Yeah.
Which, anyway. So, folks, God damn it, that's an episode.
Yes.
There's another belch for you.
That's 2.
Yeah.
Belch counter, 2.
I'm not going to do that all the time. But here's some music for you to listen to.
I mean, if you do it again, now it becomes a callback.
Oh! I had to wait for the camera to move. All right. So, on behalf of the mighty right hand of the podcast, you know him, you love him. That's Mr. John Spencer up there in the catbird seat. I'm, of course, your good friend, Uncle Minoff John. I'm going to be here next week probably because fucking COVID is about to destroy the universe again. We're not going anywhere. Get some beef, some pork products, stick them in your freezer, and tune in next Wednesday. I'm Minoff John. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Grab your pork products.
Words I never thought we'd say.